my office at McDonald's. I was trying to look for other ways to communicate on the spur of the moment. There are several ways that you can do this on YouTube. Like you can do uploading videos, and there's another thing coming on brand new, which is about inviting other people to come on live with me. Can you imagine that? Oh my God. The nearest thing we've ever got to that is when we've had private Zoom meetings with the old, Patreon members at YouTube, and we would schedule it and the time and day, and we would have 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 people, and we could talk about anything and everything without censorship. We could still do that, but I'm sort of unavailable at that extent right now. But I'm going to do something here. This is just going to be pretty short and sweet. As you know, I'm still dealing with the aftermath of the eclipses just like the rest of you. And for me, I'm not going to go into any details about the personal stuff, but it's profound. As you know, I'm experimenting with Twitter and TikTok and Rumble as new platforms. And I also just signed up with Truth Social. As you know, that is the conservative, let's call it Patriots, crowd that was created by Donald in response to Donald being shut out of Twitter. So I can tell you that Truth Social looks very, very simple. It's just written word. There's no like little spaces for videos. There's no weird special effects. And I don't see a lot of ways for intercommunication or, favorites or all that kind of thing. There's little bits, but anyway, it's still very new. So anyway, I'm back here on good old-fashioned YouTube. I had a couple of things I wanted to share with you today. If you look at the charts, Mars is in Gemini in the late degrees, and it's in very hard square with Jupiter and Neptune in the late degrees in Pisces. From my perspective, what that tells me is that Mars is acting like a fierce, stabbing, violent weapon of truth, representing we the people as we aggressively call out the squalor and the lies and deceptions and betrayal and the disgusting stuff going on with everything that is very sick and sad and disturbing about the United States and, frankly, the rest of the world. The certain things that are really nasty are like taboo subjects that I'm not allowed to talk about on my YouTube, so I won't. But most of you know the taboo subjects that I'm not allowed to talk about. So figure it out for yourself, okay? There's a lot of 3-letter non-governmental, let's say, agencies or groups of people that are deeply involved with this. There's a lot of what I would call pure EVIL going on behind the scenes that is doing everything it can to propagate itself across the planet exactly the way that happens with a massive cancerous tumor that has found a way to go metastatic. By metastatic, that means the tumor is breaking out from its original location and it's starting to spread everywhere. Okay. It's very dangerous, very ugly, and you can see it happening around the world. Now, in the United States, in some ways, we're very, very blessed because we have certain advantages, again, regarding subject matters that's very dangerous for me to talk about, but it revolves around the FEDERAL, RESERVE, BANK system. Okay? Plus, there's everything else that's political, including and very vividly to do with the huge voting event that we had in the United States that culminated on the full moon eclipse on November the 8th. Now, as you know, everything was just chugging along, and then suddenly things started to go very weird and wrong again, just like the last major voting event in America. But this time, the people who have suspicions about being disenfranchised or defrauded are acting very aggressively to protect themselves. And people that might be, there's a couple of obvious names. I think the first one is Carrie Lake over in Arizona. And now they're starting to call out stuff in Nevada and I think Pennsylvania, where there's a lot of very stinky, smelly stuff that's being exposed. Okay? So I just wanted to get that out there. The show is not over by any means. So whatever they're telling you on mainstream media, take it with a pinch of salt. That's the expression. In other words, like here on my channel, I try to go straight down. I like to dig very, very deep, and then I condense into things, condense it all into just a few nuggets of hardcore truth that a lot of people don't like, especially if you're on a certain side, left, of the political spectrum. All right. The next thing I wanted to mention is that very briefly, the moon is in Scorpio right now. It's at the very end of a lunar cycle from the new moon eclipse last October 26th. But the eclipse cycle is not actually over. We're still deep in it. All right? And the moon right now is opposite Uranus in Taurus and the south node in, and the north node in Taurus. Okay? So this relates again very heavily to the global financial system and the chaos that is unfolding in a way that cannot be stopped or ignored. So just make sure you stay out of the line of fire. And if you have been damaged by some of the things that's been going on, I don't know how to help, really. Personally, all I'm doing is stuff that's very, very simple. I'm trying to protect my money, my privacy, myself, my ability to speak freely, and my ability to defend myself in the ability to speak freely. I hope some of that makes sense to you. There's so much more that I'd love to share with you, but I'm just trying to keep the channel alive so that we can at least do our Sunday night shows where we do the live tarot readings. It is Tuesday, early or midday, roughly middle of the day, early afternoon over here in sunny, chilly Las Vegas. Thank you, anybody and everyone who's watching. I see 2 likes. Thank you. I noticed that a couple of people checked in and logged in to watch. Thank you. Hopefully this will show up later on the channel and you can enjoy it for what it is. I'm sorry I'm not actually illustrating any of this with the astrodoodles, but I'm sure some of you can imagine it. Take care, everybody. Have a blessed day. Remember, love thyself. Be loving. Be loved. Bye bye. Signing out.